Yeah, welcome back everybody. As announced just now, we'll now be seeing Prince of Persia 3D, not the Dreamcast version as we did on Friday, but now really the PC version. And here's a little fun fact I unearthed, and that is that last year, PoPRuns 8 was the first time ever that the PC version of Pop 3D was not shown at the marathon. The first 3 years, Robbie, Epic Dude Guy, ran the old alt-tab category, which I think is physically impossible at this point. Then the 4 following years, Ref ran this game in all versions. There was even some all LEPs, like all Life Potion running there. And then last year we got a little break. And that being said, we're of course very happy that the game is back at the marathon. topardex, I would say, without further ado, the stage is yours. Please show us how great this game is.
Hey, hello everyone. Welcome back to Pop 3D. I am topardex, and well, yeah, this is gonna be the way I can call it, probably a unique experience. And by unique experience, I mean that you're gonna want to close the stream probably halfway through level 1. But I'll try to make it as easy on everyone as possible. So yeah, let's begin now. So yeah, basically this is the original version of the game, not the fake version, which is the Dreamcast one. It's also basically an equivalent NMG run of that version. There we go, we began. And yeah, there isn't much speedrun tech about this game. It's mostly NMG. It could be considered an NMG. At least this category. Which is no alt tab actually. In reality it's called any %, but it should be called any % no alt tab. Because there is a different category which is obviously alt tab. Which I will talk about later, but yeah, it's a much more broken version of the game, which is quite unplayable today due to modern software. But yeah, I will explain that later essentially. Yeah, this, as you can probably tell, looks the same as Arabian Nights, at least now in the beginning. But there is extra levels in this game, which I can tell you right now is not a good thing. In fact, it's probably the worst thing they could have possibly done, because those 2 extra levels that this game has are easily the worst 2 in the game, and probably the 2 longest in the game. So yeah, as Velshran is saying, the Dreamcast version is essentially a different game. So it really is a remake of this version, because as you can tell, if you're familiar with the Arabian Nights run, this one is much slower. It feels like it's playing at 0.5 speed, where in reality they just sped up the other version. This one is much slower, as you can tell. Every single animation is slower, including running, jumping, and especially climbing up. Climbing up a ledge takes about 3 seconds or so. And yeah, basically 50% of the run is just me watching the climbing animation. So yeah, no air swim in this version either. There is a way to air swim out of bounds, but again, that is the other category, which I'm not running right now, probably ever. Yeah, we're also gonna be visiting Bob for the run, and the vomit level. It's probably the highlight of the run, actually. And not for good reasons. Yeah. As you can probably tell, I'm jumping while moving. That is like the most basic speedrun tech here. Because jumping, well, a running jump actually is about, I think, 12% faster than just running like this. But yeah, it's quite, risky to do, because if you jump into a wall, you basically lose all of your momentum. And you have to reposition the prince because, yeah, this game has wonderful tank controls, which, if you cannot tell, is not a good idea. Also, if you combine that with the absolutely awful default keybinds that this game has, it's probably the worst experience in Prince of Persia. But to be honest, I don't think that's really their fault, because, you know, as everything else with this game, the keybinds were also copied from Tomb Raider, if I'm not mistaken. But thankfully they let you change your keybinds. So yeah, I basically remapped the entire keyboard for this. But yeah, that's basically it on the technical side. Here I'm gonna crush this guy with a box. Quite, you know, cruel. But it has to be done. I need the sword. And this is how you get it. Yeah, Battles of Prince of Persia is probably the only rival that this game has for how bad it is. But yeah. We haven't seen Battles of Pop in this event, so we'll have to do with this one. There we go, now I have a weapon.
What's that noise?
Yeah, also, this game has some wonderful voice acting, as you can probably tell. It's basically a game that doesn't have much dialogue, but when it does, it is a highlight. Yeah, I haven't really played Battles of Prince of Persia, so I cannot say much about it. Yeah, as you can see right now, I just quick loaded, and yeah, every time a disc pops up at the top of the screen, it means I'm quick saving, which is basically the precursor to rewinding in the series, although it's much cheesier and basically feels like having infinite sands. But yeah, you can quick save and oops, go hit there. Yeah, this guard's quite a pain. There you go. Yeah, as you can tell, the quick saving feature will be present throughout the entire run, because it's basically impossible to finish this without quick saving. And it's really not a polished game, as you can see. This is really the beta version for the actual game, which is probably the Dreamcast version. Is there any lag? No, I don't think there is lag. I think the only problem with quick saving is that, well, there is limitations to it. One being that you cannot save while moving, or in a moving platform. But that makes sense, obviously, because if you saved, well,
There's something inside,
okay,
but I can't seem to open it.
need to let you hear the voice acting. Basically, if you save while moving, you could essentially softlock yourself, and that happens even with the restrictions in place. For example, if I save it there before the blade hit me, I will basically be stuck in a death loop for infinity, unless I reset the level, of course. But yeah, spamming quick save is not really helpful. You lose time for it, because, you know, you need to stop sometimes to quick save. But yeah, typically after you climb a ledge, or, you know, before you start running, you do quick save, even if there isn't, you know, any danger close, just to make sure you don't lose your progress. And also, quick saving is especially useful because this game, you know, to keep on the theme of today, will have one mandatory crash towards the end, probably, if not two crashes actually, because yeah, this game is quite an old piece of software, which means that if you keep this game running for way too long, it will crash. Typically in between 80 and 90 minutes of the game running, the game will crash, and it normally happens when you finish a level like that. It will probably happen towards the end though, not really at the beginning. But you never know with this game, anything can happen. Here I just finished level number 1, which was the prison, or dungeon. And now I'm level 2, which is the ivory tower. Thankfully here we don't have to do any annoying skips, like in the Dreamcast version. This is just raw gameplay, I guess. We will be picking up the bow actually, which we fully skipped on the other version. So yeah, you will see a bit of bow action. At least in the first half of the run, because we lose our weapons halfway through the game. No, small spoiler. But yeah. Oops, there we go. Right. Yeah, the game basically, there is 2 ways that the game can crash. Normally the most common version is when you finish a level, as I said. And then it can also crash mid-game, but that is much more rare. And you will notice probably if the game crashes before, like 10 minutes before or so, basically all the sound effects in the game disappear in a very inconsistent way, because they sometimes reappear for no reason. So yeah, the game kinda tells you that it's about to crash. But yeah, it's not really that bad because we have quick saving, as I said. So we can just load the quick save, latest quick save, and be fine with it. And yeah, the game also uses in-game time for timing, so it's not really a problem if it crashes. Here we're about to approach the best cutscene in the game. So yeah, I'll stay silent for it.
Too bad he missed the pool.
There we go. So normally in that cutscene the prince doesn't scream, but since I jumped at the last possible moment, he landed mid-air, and as you can see, when you fall, you scream like that. But the cutscene, when you activate it, it teleports you behind the guard, but the game still thinks I'm falling, so it will play the scream during the cutscene. But yeah, normally the prince doesn't scream there. Okay, so now we approach the first real skip.
Oh, the guard latched the drawbridge.
Nice voice acting there. First real skip of this game. We're meant to shoot this lever right here to lower the bridge, but we can just jump through the window. Save 1 arrow and a few seconds. Well, you save more time if you get it first try, obviously. But yeah, here I have to eat this cutscene. We cannot skip it.
One prisoner to bring to the palace.
Yeah. Very nice. What we have to do now is we need to climb up to where that last guard is, kill him, and then shoot the other guard with the bow to basically reopen that door. So that is basically why we have to grab the bow, because you can technically go directly here from the beginning of the level, but we do need the bow for that. It's really unskippable in this game. Otherwise you really cannot finish the level. Here, run past this guy. No worries. Here. Wrong game. Yeah, no, there isn't really precise setups here, this level. A few rats here. So you can tell this game is pretty slow. Everything about it is slow. You can see the climbing animation. You probably saw it a lot already, but takes up a lot of the run. I'm actually gonna precise placebos. Yeah, basically everything in this game is a placebo. I will have a placebo close now when I shoot the other guard. Need to kill this guy first though. Okay, he didn't block, thankfully. Yeah, essentially every time you climb twice, you could finish a run of any Prince of Persia game. But yeah, here I used the bow for the first time. And here I need to shoot him twice, and then I need to sidestep to the right when he falls to basically skip a cutscene. So now, that's the placebo.
I need to find a way to press that other floor plate.
Well, yeah, I literally just pressed it, so you don't need to find a way. Typically, you need to play the two cutscenes one after the other. But if you sidestep while the other guy is dying, you can just activate both at the same time. And that is level 2, essentially. And there we go. Now we're back in level 3 Cistern, which I called a chill level yesterday, and it ended up being a time loss. But this time I don't have to go close to that guy. I can jump directly onto the boat if I don't miss the jump. There we go. Here I used to have a very long setup for this, which was a placebo, essentially, because you can just run like this. Okay. Quick save failed. Everything Prince does looks like he's due for a poop, yeah, essentially. Here we can just run like this. Okay, too early again. Too close. There we go. Yeah, the other game, the Dreamcast version, had a problem with walls being non-existent, essentially. This is the opposite. The walls in this game are quite obvious, and if you bump into them, you lose all your momentum, all your movement. So they basically kill your run. Here this guy drops from the ceiling for some reason, but you can cheese him like this. Okay, he didn't get in the cheese position, but he didn't hit me anyway. But normally he stays, stuck there, if you cheese him correctly. But yeah, he's not really a problem. Yeah, here, all the movement in this game looks as unnatural as possible, basically. Here the cutscene with the boat is much shorter, thankfully. Most realistic game here. Probably the movement is kind of reminiscent of the original Prince of Persia, or in a really weird way. Here I skipped the platforming sequence again, but slightly differently. We can just go over this door. And then here, not like that, like this. Not like that either. Okay, this is quite a tricky jump. Okay, there we go. Now you can climb like this. And we're basically finished with the level. Oops, I got hit. Yeah, there is a dart pressure plate there. And I ate it. Yeah, everything in this game is influenced by Tomb Raider. And if you want to say influence and not stolen, copied. Yeah, that is level 3. Now we move on to level 4, aka Palace number 1 out of 3. Yeah, we'll basically be over all the original Prince of Persia games by now. Now we're gonna be using actually a cool feature with the bow, which is part of the speedrun, or really casual play. Doesn't really have a name. I call it quick fire because it's essentially what it means. We shoot the bow faster by being really close to an enemy. As you can see here, I shoot 4 arrows, basically like I would be shooting an assault rifle. And I kill that guy instantly, essentially. Normally what happens is, if you use the bow in a long distance. Every time you shoot, the prince will play an animation, taking another arrow out. But here, he just goes straight to the point. And lets you spam the shoot key to kill the guy faster. Here we get the box once again, which we needed to move diagonally in Dreamcast. Here we cannot move diagonally, but we can abuse quick saving, essentially. Like this. Because, as in the other game, there is an archer shooting at us here, right now. But, every time I quick load, he resets his aiming, essentially. So if I quick load every time I quick save here, I keep resetting his position, and he will not shoot me, essentially. He will shoot me now, though. There you go. But I avoided it, thankfully. Yeah, there is no diagonal movement here. You can only move forward and backwards when you move the box. Here we need to run past this fat guard. There is a lot of fat guards here. Kinda keeping the tradition from Pop 1. Hopefully he doesn't get me. There we go. Now I'm gonna do one of the best glitches in this game, which is rope clipping. And, this game doesn't allow you to have any fun, so we only use this twice. This being one of them. Essentially, if you release the rope at the last frame, like this... Okay, I failed it. If you release it at the last frame, you clip through whatever is in front of you. This occasion being this banner right here. There we go. We will only use that one more time in level 5 and never again. But yeah, it does look cool. It's the closest to a glitch we have in this category. Yeah, as you can tell, the climbing rope animation is even slower than climbing normally. As everything else in this game. I feel if you removed all the animations from the, final time, you probably get close to sub 1 hour, probably. But yeah, it lets you enjoy the atmosphere. Okay, I failed that. There we go. Here this guy is very annoying. He doesn't like to die fast. He blocks almost everything. Okay, there we go. He wasn't perfect, he wasn't that bad. So I'll take it. Once again we have cutscenes where absolutely nothing happens. A classic, really. Here we take the absolutely secret path that no one has thought of before. Nice. Yeah, I feel like the only thing this game does reasonably well is setting a good atmosphere. With the music is very good also. It does get quite repetitive quickly, because it loops every time during a level. But it does set like a creepy atmosphere, I guess, or like a magical atmosphere. But it is kinda ruined by horrific gameplay and the glitches, the bugs and everything. Yeah, the bookshelf here is quite slower. Yeah, another thing about this game is that when you stand close to a ledge, basically the prince does, automatically corrects his position, to not fall off. But it is so horrifically done that sometimes he does it and he falls to his death. And there's nothing you can do about it. Here you can run past that guy by hugging the wall. And here we'll be using the first time the special arrows, which are the wasp arrows. which essentially deal area damage. So by shooting the floor there, it'll release a swarm of wasps that will kill the archer. That archer isn't in the Dreamcast version either. They removed him, probably for being too annoying, because there is a very long platforming sequence here, and there's really no way to avoid him without killing him. Here possibly the worst jump in the game. There we go. Haven't fully finished it yet. There we go. Again, the camera in this game isn't controlled by me, it's fully automatic. And again, that is not a good thing at all. Because yeah, as you can tell, it is quite terrible. So if you don't like the camera angle, don't blame me. Okay, there you saw the prince trying to kill himself. Thankfully I was able to grab the ledge before he died. And now yeah, I will be picking up the best potion in the game, which is the orange potion. And yeah, if you pay attention during the Dreamcast run, this is the same as the rune. It increases your jump distance, both, you know, horizontally and vertically. There you go. In this game there is basically a lot of potions with a lot of colors. In Dreamcast they reduced it to 2 potions, which are only to heal you, and the rest of the, you know, power-ups were replaced by pickups, which is boring. Potions are better in my opinion. They do take, you know, like 8 seconds to drink, but they look cooler, I think. And yeah, basically on the elevator now, or whatever this contraption is, which takes me to the final room of the level, with the bold guard once again. I will not cheese him with the sword this time, I will actually shoot him with the bow. Again using these special arrows. He likes to ignore me, so for that I will shoot him. There we go. And you know, the door opens once you kill him, so you need to kill him really. And that is Palace 1, so move on to Palace 2. Here we'll be using quickfire again, 1, 2, 3 only. And yeah, I also need to kill that guard to open the door. Now we'll be using the rope clipping glitch once again for the final time. Random guillotine there, because why not? Here you're meant to open 2 doors, as you can see, but you can only open the first one and then clip through using the rope method, if I do it correctly. I normally never fail this, by the way. There we go. Classic, you know, it could be a PoPRuns 10 title. I have never failed this before. But obviously during the marathon I will fail it. This level is really short actually. The only thing we need to do is activate a switch that will open a door that is accessible from the very first minute of the level. Okay, that was an embarrassing jump. Missing the rope entirely. There we go. Here we have a very weird trap, but we can escape it by pushing the wall, obviously. The usual stuff. Because what is a trap without a hidden exit in this game? It's almost like they want you to survive. So yeah, I will be activating the switch now. And there we go. And now you can just run back to the beginning of the level. Yeah, yeah, it's really nice at the same time. It's so bad at times that it is funny, so I'll give it that to you. Yeah, I think this level is actually the demo that they released for this game, so it does make sense. And yeah, drop into the pool, get out, and finish it. There you go. Yeah, so basically the game wants you to follow the guard there into the pool of water. But if you do that, you die, because there is some like spikes there that will insta-kill you if you jump into the water. So what we need to do is we need to go through here and activate another switch to deactivate the spikes, and then we can swim through. Yeah, as you can see, basically every single puzzle in this game is activating a switch to deactivate the trap. Yeah, I haven't really talked about the story of this game. I could take my time to do it. So essentially, this is supposed to happen after the events of Pop 2, but I haven't played that game ever, so don't really know how it ends. I think it ends with a cliffhanger. There is like a witch looking at the prince through a crystal ball, but that doesn't really happen in this game. So I think they quite ignored everything that happened in Pop 2, and they just kept the characters. And basically what happens is the prince, the princess, and the sultan, so the princess's father, travel to a kingdom that is ruled by this guy named Hassan, which is supposed to be the sultan's brother. And basically once you get there, they kidnap you, the sultan, and the princess, and well, they throw you in jail, which is level number 1. And yeah, we're basically going through the palace right now to find the sultan. Okay, I got shot there, so I need to reload. And yeah, I'll keep, telling the story as we go. This is the closest we'll get to an air swim in this game. It's a very long swimming sequence. Nothing really happens. And there we go. Made it. Here we'll use... This is actually the last lever where I will use the bow. So, oops, didn't activate it. There we go. So now, basically what the game wants you to do, there is 3 different doors that you can open here. And only one leads to the exit. But we need to go through this one first, because we need to open 2 doors at the same time to exit. And the only way to do it is through here. Here they want to ambush us. There is 2 guards waiting for us. But we can just skip this by once again shooting the guy. And killing him, obviously. And now we have to erase the bridge once again. Here the guard will probably laugh in a minute. Okay, he didn't laugh. Normally he laughs there. And yeah, basically I will shoot these last 3 arrows now. And I will never use the bow again in this run, sadly. I think it's a really cool feature of the game. But we don't really use it past this point. Yeah, it will take forever, and trust me, you haven't seen anything yet, because there is levels in this game that take 15 minutes. And it's nothing but climbing. Now, as I said for the Dreamcast run, as long as the game goes, the levels get worse and worse. The bad quality peaks with the vomit level. That is the absolute worst level in Prince of Persia history, by the way. But yeah, we'll get there in about 50 minutes or so. Yeah, we will basically be in the final 5 minutes of a run in the Dreamcast version by now. I'm not even halfway through here. So as you can tell, it will take forever. That probably explains why there is only 4 runners for this game. And with me being the only run in the 2020s. Here we tank some fall damage, like this. Which is quite useful actually. Yeah, you could finish probably most of the original trilogy before doing anything in this game. Here we'll see that woman that was baiting us into jumping into the water earlier. And we can cheese her by just approaching her and letting her animation play out. Because yeah, this game has been tested so little that essentially every time an enemy detects you, they play their animation to take their weapon out. And for most enemies it's really long, which lets you basically approach them and kill them before the animation finishes. So that is how we will be cheesing most enemies. There we go, that's level 6. Which was the last palace level. Now we're in the rooftops, technically. Now this plays out basically identically from the Dreamcast version. It's not much of a difference. I mean, there is slight difference. Like, for example, here you can skip this cutscene if you don't go too far to the right. Okay, didn't skip it, but I played while I was climbing, so saved a few seconds. And now this guy is always a pain. There we go. And yeah, now we will see the final boss of the game for the very first time in a cutscene that was removed from the Dreamcast version. But it's really like a 5-second cutscene, so it's not really that much. But you will be able to see the princess, which is made up of 2 pixels.
Slay the beggar. Be certain he never leaves this place alive. Go!
There you go. That is basically the only time we see the princess outside of the last level. And yeah, something I forgot to mention actually is that, you know, after I finished the level in the Dreamcast version, we skipped the cutscenes, which are pre-rendered. Here in this version, the cutscenes basically are in a folder in the game. Yeah, I skipped fall damage there, by the way. The cutscenes are in a folder, but they are in such a weird format that the game doesn't play them because, you know, Windows 10 cannot handle that type of format. So basically the game auto-skips cutscenes for you, since there isn't really any way to play them. So we will not be seeing the final cutscene. It will jump very abruptly into the main menu. But we saw the final cutscene on Friday, so it's not really a big deal, because it is exactly the same cutscene. Here, more boring platforming. This is probably second most boring level in the game. That potion right there is poison. If you drink it, if you drink it, you lose 1 health bottle. And it only appears one time there, and never again, for some reason. As you can see, always when you go downstairs, the prince kinda falls off, and he resets your whole movement, making everything even slower, if it wasn't already slow by this point. More annoying climbing here. And we will light up the room, uncovering the old man. Basically, if you go into this room without the light, that old guy will insta-kill you in a cutscene for some reason. But if you turn on the lights, you can just run past him like this. The game shows you this really weird perspective of the elevator going up for some reason. Yeah, a lot of waiting is done in this game. Yeah, something you probably notice as well is that we can't really see much in this level. And that is because, well, I am playing this game in windowed format, because if I played it in full screen, basically OBS will have no idea what's happening, so you wouldn't pick up the game. So if you're playing windowed mode, you can change the brightness settings of the game inside the game, but it doesn't recognize it in windowed format, so we have the default brightness, which is pretty low. So we can't really see anything. But you are not missing anything, I promise. Just ugly platforming and more. But thankfully we are finished with rooftops. And we will be making our way towards streets and docks, which is the above level. aka the best level in the game. This also plays quite similarly to Dreamcast, because there isn't any airzones. Oops. That happens sometimes. Okay, do you wanna drop or not? There we go. Here we basically, when I open this door to the right, we'll be jumping into the worst section in the game, objectively speaking, because it basically consists of two traps that will insta-kill you, and they have a horrible hitbox. But we'll get there soon. Here I failed it the first time, but I can run past that guy and pick up the key here to open the door. And can go back to the door, because yeah, this game has some sort of backtracking elements to it, as you can tell. But I guess that's kinda normal in the older Prince of Persia games. It does happen quite a bit. Here we have one of the hardest enemies in the game, and that is the old man once again. Because he can resist the cheese, essentially. He has the shortest animation, so there is a small chance he blocks the last hit, but he didn't. So yeah, if you can tell, I took damage there, because if you let an enemy hit you, and then you take out your weapon, it basically makes the enemy replay their animation, which lets you cheese them. This is the trap I was talking about earlier. Thankfully nothing happened there. Now we'll see Bob. Hopefully. There he is. And he's blocking the exit. Thanks. Bye, Bob. But we'll see his cousin and his father in a minute. Okay, nice, I got the fast version there. Normally you grab that, like, bar. And this is the worst section ever. I'll probably lose like a minute here, but I'll try my best. Okay, I said it and I finished it first try. So if this was my PB, I will be saving like 30 seconds. Now it looks like I'm lying now, but I swear that is the worst section in the game. Has the worst hitbox of any trap. And yeah. We're now gonna be stealing from the old man again, but this time it's worse because we'll actually talk to him first. And then we'll steal from him. Let you hear the cutscene.
Who's
there you
there?
go.
It's been a long time since I've had a visitor.
I'm just passing through, old man.
Old, yes, but I still know a thing or two about these dogs.
Yeah, having said that, we will steal his flute once again. Now, here comes basically the funniest glitch in the game, because I discovered it like 2 weeks ago while practicing for this. Basically, if you run towards this weird platform, you can clip through this wall for some reason. And it saves about 10 seconds or so, if you don't take too long setting it up. So we set up there, we go back there, forward a bit, and if you just run forward, there we go, you clip through the wall. Because, yeah, walls in this game are really weird, as you can tell. Here we go underground, you probably can't see anything again, but I can't see anything either, so... There is Bob's cousin once again. Hello. And we're only missing Bob's father, which will play in about a minute. Rob. And now we play the flute once again for this rope. Nice melody. Yeah, basically the melody he plays there is the same as the intro song for this game. Which is, you know, quite nice information. Useless information. Here we're gonna go straight into Bob's father. Yeah, I could go back and return it, or I could keep it for later in case I need to raise any ropes. Which won't happen, by the way. There is Bob's father, which we will be also running past from like this. He gets kinda stuck there. And that is hopefully the last time we will see Bob and his family. Yeah, we can return it later. It's the hidden epilogue, or I don't know if epilogue means after the game. And that's basically level 8. Just swim for a little bit here. And we will make it into the dirigible, which is the worst segment in any run ever. As you can see, the level starts with the longest climb in the game, letting you appreciate the .jpg background, which is very high quality, by the way. Yeah, that NPC is quite scary, as you can see. But we won't see him for much longer. Here, as I said on Friday, we need to make a cycle here, and on Dreamcast it's quite alright, there is a lot of room for mistake. But here, essentially, if you miss anything from the beginning of the level, you are screwed. And there is one jump in particular that is very precise that we need to do to make the cycle. Well, if I don't make it, it's fine. Because yeah, it only misses like 20 seconds or so. And yeah, I'm not on PB pace either, by the way. So, isn't really important. Here, we will skip fighting this enemy by just jumping towards the other platform. Like this. And here comes the most horrible jump in the game. I know I say that like 5 times already, but I swear this one is actually real. You need to basically jump directly into that rope over there. And I didn't get it. So if I reload there, it should give me the same cycle. There we go. But I haven't really tested that much, so I don't know, I might still miss the cycle. There we go. And missed the easiest jump in the game. There we go. More climbing for no reason. I need to get it directly, because if I don't, I take longer, because I need to jump again to grab the rope. And I'll miss the cycle, essentially. It's a cycle that I haven't made yet. Which is up here after a few platforms. Which I think I will miss, but it's fine. There we go. Now, after I climb this, it will be the moment of truth. Okay, let me check the cycle. Okay, so if the platform is going back, it should be fine. Okay, it is going back, but it is quite at the end, so I might not make it. It's really tight, I might make it. Okay, wait. Nope. There. Why is he bonking against the platform? There we go. We made it. Yeah, this game is really weird in how it loads things and everything. I have the random guillotine here, which killed me even though I jumped next to it and not below it. Yeah, it's exactly, this level is basically the exact same copy as the other one. And now this jump is very difficult actually, so I probably retry it a few times. Like that. I need to go further back. There we go. Okay, nice. There we go. That is normal though, typically you need 3 or 4 attempts to land the jump. Ideally you do it first try, obviously. But it is probably number 1 or 2 in the top for most difficult jumps in this game. Another elevator sequence here, if there wasn't enough already. And yeah, basically I climbed this rope over here, and that will be lower dirigible number 1, which is the first of 4 fully complete dirigible levels. We will be moving towards dirigible 2, or lower dirigible 2. This is the first level that was removed from Dreamcast, so everything that you're seeing now is completely new. And this is the second worst level in the game, because there is another cycle to make. Further on though, not now. Should be fine for now. It does begin with this really annoying rope plus moving platform sequence, which is annoying on its own, because we cannot save here because it's a moving platform. And I need to land this jump directly into the platform, and I think I missed it. Okay. I hope he doesn't hit me. Okay, he hit me. So I have to replay the entire sequence again. That is why it's annoying. But it's fine. Should be below estimate anyway. By a few minutes, at least. That was my fault though, I jumped too late. Okay, now, there we go. That is what you should do there. PoPRuns 10, I hope he doesn't hit me. Now, nice, I landed the jump nicely. Now this archer is quite annoying, because he can hit you very far into the level for some reason if you leave him alive. So for that reason I will murder him right here. There we go. Another long climbing section, because we didn't have enough. Yeah, and trust me, this isn't the last rope you will see in this game. Okay, we should be fine now. There we go. Now we need to climb the stairs, which are here. If he wants to run, there we go. We will cheese this guy. Like this. He makes a noise when dying. Okay, there you go. And now we will be making our way to the first life extending potion that we will take. Well, the first and only. Which is after this guy. Who will probably hit me, but that's fine. Okay, he didn't hit me. Nice. Now we will face the cannon, which is this thing over here. Because why not have a huge cannon in the middle of your dirigible? There we go. Missed completely. And here, after a few jumps, we will drink the potion, which not only gives you 2 additional health bottles, but it also fully heals you, which is very important because well, if that guy previously hit us, we would be at 1 HP, so we need to drink it. There we go. Now the game, if you look at the health bar, it looks like I'm not fully HP, but I am. It's just that the game has that weird visual bug that doesn't load the last bottle correctly. But I am full health. Now I took full damage, so I'm not. Okay, missed that jump. It's a very annoying jump, and to land right in between the chain and like the switch there. There we go. And now another elevator, and after the elevator we will be in the cycle once again. It should be easier, in theory, than the other one. Yeah, it's not only one elevator, it's 2 right after the other, for some reason. And there we go. Now you watch this shortcut scene. And we're basically on a timer from now on. Need to make this cycle. Okay. Get this one first, and the other one should work. This isn't the cycle, by the way, it's the next platform. I need to do a very calculated sequence here. I need to jump into the guillotine, like this, to activate it. I need to bounce once and twice, and then after a few seconds I'll jump. Nice, there we go. I made the cycle, thankfully. If not, I will have to wait for this to go up and back once again, which takes like 30 seconds. Maybe less, not that much. And yeah, this is basically the most annoying platforming sequence in the game. Yeah, I forgot to mention, that texture for some reason isn't in the game. It's meant to be like a, you know, like a running thing. But yeah, it doesn't load for some reason. And I think it only happens there. Okay, nice, I made it there. Another timing related jump. Now we wait once again. Here's another skip which is just a jump. By this we skip basically like 5 minutes of platforming, if I get the jump correctly. There we go. And now the most infamous room in this game, the 90-degree angle room. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you will see in a moment. Let you see what happens. Yeah, because why not? Why not have a switch in the room that just turns it 90 degrees? And yeah, because of that we lose all our weapons, which is the bow and the sword.
Not my weapons.
As the prince said right there. Yeah, basically stopping having to climb twice saves about 5 minutes. And we are basically weaponless for the next 2 minutes before we pick up the second melee weapon of the game, which is the staff, which hopefully we'll only use once to fight one of the bosses of this game, which is the same as the final boss, by the way, so not much creativity there. And yeah, we basically don't use the staff as much because it's slow, even slower than the sword. It does have higher reach, but it doesn't really help us at all. So we'll only use the staff once, and then we'll keep using the sword when we find it in the vomit level once again. So yeah, this is dirigible 2, or lower dirigible 2. And now we'll make it into upper dirigible, or dirigible 3, really, which is the third out of 4 dirigible levels. This is where you keep your spare keys. And there we go. Okay, nice floor we have over here. This is like the VIP section of the dirigible, so it looks nicer. Here we run past Eraser. There we go. And we pick up the stuff here, which isn't in Dreamcast version, by the way. They fully skipped it. Here we can just run past this guy. Yeah, basically all the textures are either recycled or done in 5-minute sessions. So yeah, not much quality there. Okay, wait, I need to stay there actually. This is one of the other skips that I found. And I found this like 2 months ago maybe. We can skip the crane essentially by just going here and jumping like this, if I don't miss it. There we go. Here we just skip the entire crane sequence, saving about 20 seconds or so. And you get to run past the sheep there in that crate. There we go. We're back in the indoors courtyard. And that means we're back with the ridiculously long jumps. With the potion that is right there. Yeah, all the new skips are basically in the past now. I already did all of them. And there we go. This is probably the funniest sequence in the game again. I said that on Friday, I think. This time though, we don't jump towards the palm tree. It's more boring here. We do the normal platforming. which is just this bridge right here. Okay, missed the jump. Kind of. Now this is the most satisfying jump in the game. We land directly on the pressure plate. There we go. And that's as good as it's gonna get in this game. Now we go to the other side. And we will be jumping directly into the platform, that platform, when the cutscene wants to end. There we go. So now you have to go as far back as possible here. There we go, and then I spam jump, and I land directly on top of it. Yeah, that should tell you everything about this game, basically. Here I can jump once again to close that earlier. But it does some weird thing with the camera, there we go. Okay, we're close to finishing the dirigible, which means we are close to the vomit level. And trust me, that is not a good thing, that is the worst thing that could be happening right now. Because that is the worst part in the game. Here we have the rotating room. For some reason there is a rotating room here. Which you need to time your jump because you move while jumping. There we go. Here's the easiest puzzle in the game. You literally need to just hold forward and you don't die. There you go. Here, jump scare warning. There is an NPC here.
Be careful, sir. That room is filled with poisonous gas.
Yeah, that is much louder on my audio. I think the stream is quite turned down, so it's probably not that loud. But when you play that for the first time, he screams in your ear. And it's really scary. Yeah, it's supposed to be one of the dirigible workers. Supposedly. Now this is the worst enemy in the game, which we need to run past from, but we need to do like a dance, essentially, to get him in place. Okay, he's looking back, so that is typically a good sign. So when he starts running, I need to sidestep to the right, and he gets stuck in that position, which lets me run past him. Typically, if you don't get him to play that animation, his hitbox is way too big, and you are not basically able to run past him. But if you get him to play that animation, which is like a taunting animation, his hitbox gets smaller, and you can run past him. And thankfully it worked first time. Nice catapult there, because why not? And we're basically in dirigible finale, which is 30 seconds of climbing a rope and a 30-second cheese fight with the final boss. Okay, I golded in that last level for some reason. 5-second gold, nice. I think it's the first in the run. Yeah, you'll see the cheese, it's probably the worst cheese in the game. It's basically the final boss, well, not final boss, the boss is standing on a really narrow platform, so since we're playing at 60 FPS, he gets stuck there. And you can freely hit him. You'll see in 10 seconds what happens. Okay, wait, what is this? Like this should work. So here he should try to go to the left, and as you can see, he's not very smart, so you have to approach him slowly to not break cheese, essentially. And okay, a little bit more forward, a little bit more, little bit more, little bit more. There we go. And vomit level time. There we go. We are in basically the peak of this game. And when I say peak, I mean the most negative way possible. This is the worst level in the game. And it's not close either. Okay, that jump, reason number 1. As you can see, if you look too much at the background, you will probably get a bit sick, inducing a little bit of vomiting. So I don't recommend looking at the background too much. So what happens here in the story, because you're probably asking, how did you even end up here? We killed the boss at the top of the dirigible, and he... what? Okay, that is another reason why this level is bad. Let me spawn... there is a platform supposed to spawn here, there you go. And well, yeah, we kill the boss essentially, but he falls outside of the dirigible and he lands on top of a bird. So he comes back and steals the princess, and you know, in a fit of rage, the prince jumps towards the bird, and he misses, and he lands on here. And you know, one of the theories that I made is that, you know, he got too high because of the dirigible, and he's hallucinating. But yeah, this level is terrible. Everything in this level counts as a moving platform essentially, so you cannot really quick save that much. And yeah, there is a lot of these spawning platforms that don't work sometimes, because the game doesn't want to work. Okay, that jump usually fails like that. So you have to reload all the way back there, because this section counts as a moving platform, which doesn't let you save once again, as I said earlier. Okay, this should work, in theory. Okay, nice. Nothing in this level makes sense, by the way. Any context you try to give to this doesn't apply. Here, in some versions of the game, not this one, you glitch and you cannot grab at this ledge. It just kicks you back down. Thankfully, in this version it works. Okay, that was my fault. Jumped too early. Here, falling tile. You know, to reminisce Pop 1 and Pop 2. Here, some more nonsensical camera angles. Because why not? Basically, if you make it this far into the game, you should be basically allowed to complete it, because you experience all the bad things the game has to offer by this point. It does get, you know, better after this, because there is no way it gets worse, essentially. But the level after this one is possibly the most boring level in the game. But it is quite better to look at least. This level is horrible, but it is funny because of how bad it is. Some nice jumping there. Here's the weirdest enemy in the game. Don't ask me what he is, because I don't know. Okay, nice. Ideally, I need to run past him. There we go. And this moving platform... Okay, I missed it completely. So you will have to wait with me for this platform to come back. Typically, it's already down when you make it here, so you can grab it and not lose much time. But this isn't the case. We're gonna have to wait. And there you go. Yeah, I have no idea what that was. Yeah, there's no vizier in this game. I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing. Yeah, map up with the lore. And yeah, this level is also removed from Dreamcast. So it cuts directly from the last level to the next one. Which makes a lot of, nonsense in the story. Because there is a character that pops up at the end of this level. Which is quite key to the story. But yeah, I'll talk about it when we get there. Here's a nice jump to skip a few minutes. Nice. Here, probably the weirdest switch in the game. Here in this platform, up here. Don't ask me what this door is supposed to be, because I have no idea. Yeah, you probably think it's like a bridge where it opens like upwards. Yeah. And there you go. Key to the story. Yeah. By key to the story I mean that he appears in the final cutscene of the game. Okay, I don't know why he didn't grab the ledge though. Now he's bonking against the wall. Okay, this is the final time we will see the orange potion. So say goodbye to it while you can. This is supposed to be a fun platforming section, which it is for the most part, but there is a chance that you jump towards the platform and you clip through it, dying essentially. Which makes no sense, but as you know, that is expected already in this game. So this jump right here could possibly kill me. Okay, could kill me in other ways. Like that. Okay, he doesn't want to grab the ledge for some reason. Nice. I don't know why he doesn't want to grab the ledge. Jumping too early, maybe. They're very precise. I never taken this long to get this jump. Okay. Basically, in the time I need to complete this jump, you could complete the other games. There we go. Yeah, it's almost how Pixar talk during this game. It's probably more interesting than the game itself. Here I might not make it into this platform. Okay, I did. Weirdly enough. Now we're close to the best skip in the game. And that is because we skip like 5 minutes of platforming once again. And it's literally only one input. And let me make it here. There we go. Yeah, it's the dumbest skip in the game, essentially. What you need to do is basically go the other way to pick up a key to open that up. But you need to go through a lot of platforming. But the developers didn't think that I was able to just go to the side of the door. Go into this. Okay, normally you jump there, but if you bounce off the wall, you can just run past it. And you're basically through. We pick up the sword again. And that's it. That was a skip, by the way. If you blinked, you missed it. Now, perspective puzzle time. Basically, the game tricks you into believing that there is floor there, but there isn't anything in reality, as you can see. You need to use the manual camera, which you can only use when you're standing still, to move. Here we have this guy again. You're free to give him a name if you want. This is the last time we will be seeing him though. And another long elevator David, okay. He's been named David from now on. We won't see him again though, so say goodbye to David. Here we have 2 more ropes, if it wasn't enough already. Lets you appreciate the vomit background a little bit more if you didn't enjoy it enough. And here we are approaching what is possibly the weirdest room in the game. Sorry. Yeah, it's actually really helpful contributions because naming the characters is as fun as it gets for this game. Okay, this is the weirdest room in the game, and you will find out in a second why. It's funny actually, so it's not bad. But it makes no sense, just as everything else in this game. So what I want to do here is I want to push this box next to this door, which with an incredibly suspiciously big keyhole. And then I want to press this pressure plate, which will make magic happen. There you go. We are now the size of an ant, for some reason. And we need to escape through the keyhole. That's why I moved the box next to it. We have some miniature platforming here. Yeah, you turn into the size of an ant by pressing a pressure plate. And we jump over here, down here, and there we go, we escape. Hopefully in one piece. And there you go. We are now normal size again. We're approaching the end of the vomit level. Sadly. This takes quite a while. Yeah, if I miss the jumps. Prince is the one, please. He could be, really. You see, installing this game and running it on modern software is as difficult as finding the One Piece. So that is a good theory, really. And here we're gonna encounter that character I was talking about earlier, which is a statue, essentially, of a horse with a human face. I know it makes no sense, but you're probably used to it by now. Nothing in this game makes sense. So you're gonna meet the statue that's gonna take us to the next level. Here we get ambushed. We get saved by Lamasu, which is the name officially of this guy in the game manual. And there you go, that's the level. And there he is, as you can see him. And we will never see him again in the run. That is the character that is so key to the story. We're basically in level 14 now, which is cliffs. Nothing really happens in this level, which makes it incredibly boring. It's literally a climbing simulator for 15 minutes. So yeah, you can imagine 15 minutes of the climbing animation for your enjoyment. This is also typically the level where the game crashes when you finish it. So yeah, expect that when I finish it, or earlier if the game wants to be annoying. Here we have a funny skip. You're meant to pick up the bow a few levels earlier, which we didn't, and then use a fire arrow on this block face to unfreeze a monk to open the door for you. But we can just run here and jump. And that's it, we are past the door anyway. And we can keep climbing, which is this level in a nutshell. At least the background is quite nicer than the other. Here the game tries to be, you know, more difficult, and it adds sideways jumps into the mix, which is supposed to be difficult, but it's not really that difficult. It's just jumping and pressing whatever direction you need to go to. Okay, nice fail jump. There we go. And more ropes here. More falling tiles. Yeah, that's as difficult as the game gets. Essentially, the difficulty in this game lies on you being mentally stable enough to withstand it for 2 hours. Not really the game itself. Here we're gonna meet, I think this is supposed to be a rat, or a giant rat enemy. Yeah, we can pretend they're frame perfect. No one plays this game anyway, so I can pretend everything is frame perfect and no one will know. Here's the Ratman, which we just run from. And yeah, more climbing, and more climbing, and more climbing. You need to run past this assassin, who gets bugged there. Also, more falling tiles. That's it. I hear the game doesn't like to quick save for some reason. There we go. Can run past this guy here. Here we have another skip. What the game wants you to do here is drink a slow falling potion, which I believe is similar to one you find in top 1. I think it's at the end of level 7. But you can just jump like this. Not there. There. And yeah, you can just climb here. Keep climbing forever. Here there is an archer, pretty annoying one actually. He hit me immediately. Normally that doesn't happen. We need to essentially avoid him from hitting us, which should be doable here. I think he's in the correct timing. And if I jump here, there we go. You know, some more wonderful voice acting by the prince. Let you hear it. And there you go. Makes no sense at all. Now this is probably the hardest jump in the game coming up. I know I said that like 7 times already, but this one is actually real. I will probably take a few tries here. We need to land on the other side essentially and avoid that altogether. Okay, what? Land on top of the bar, that happens sometimes. Okay, well, let me line myself up like this. That was too bad. That should work. There you go. Okay, it wasn't that bad. Now comes the worst section in the level, which is just climbing in a pitch black scenario for 5 minutes. You're probably gonna be wondering, what are you climbing on? Because you can't really see anything, but trust me, I can't see anything at all either. It's really, really dark. Yeah, I always forget what I'm even supposed to do here. So it looks the same all the time. Here I'm meant to move sideways until about here, I think, which lets you climb. Here we go, a bit more to the right. More climbing. More climbing. This is basically the last pure climbing section in the game. So it is gonna get better, I promise. Here we jump to this path from here, if it doesn't fail. There we go. Need to climb here, and then over here. Okay, he didn't want to grab the ledge. There we go. Now we go here to this invisible ledge. And we climb up. And the last jump, this one. Go over here, slightly backwards, sideways jump, and there we go. That is basically it for the climbing so far. Well, not really, we have to climb a few more meters and then we're done. There we go, this one and one more, and we are done. Over here, okay, one more platform, if it wasn't enough already. There we go, last one. Yeah, this is typically where the game will crash now, after I kill these two guys. Nice camera. Doesn't matter anyway, I cheesed him. Drink the potion. I kill this guy. What? I never seen that before. Nice discoveries. Mid-run. There you go. Here the game will probably crash now when I finish this level. So be warned. Okay, let's see if it crashes. And yes, it crashed. Nice. Doesn't matter because we quick saved before. So I just wait for the game to pop up on OBS. There you go. Should be seeing it. So load the quick save. My mouse wants to work. There you go. And we just finish the level again. And there you go. Now this is Solar Temple. Shortest level in the game. It's like 40 seconds, I think, if you do it, you know, fully effectively. Okay, I failed it. That's fine. Okay, try number 3. Okay, doesn't like to work. Okay, now I made it. There you go. A very tight window to make it through the door. But we made it. Here we jump. This is supposed to be a moving platform, but I didn't activate the switch that will make it move. But you can just do this and fail. Okay, try number 2. Like this. Okay, that should work. There you go. And one more room, and we're finished with the level. Another demon here. And screaming. There you go. And this is Moon Temple, the last real level in this game. Which is also very long. But essentially we're doing a giant puzzle that basically spans throughout the entire level. But it is quite cool to do, so it's definitely an upgrade from all the other levels since the vomit level. Yeah, if this game did not have quick saving, no one will play it. Here we go through some caves. We drink this potion in particular because it heals us 3 bottles, I think. Yep, there you go. Normally they only heal you 1 bottle if they're a blue potion. That one in particular gives you full health if you are at that amount of health. Okay, nice jump to nowhere. Yeah, I said it was the last climbing section, but I lied. This level has a lot of climbing as well. Even the final level, which is just a boss fight, has some climbing to it. So yeah, I think they really liked climbing when they were making this game. Now there isn't a no quicksave category. We could make one though, but it would probably ruin your mental sanity if you even have one in the first place running this game. To be honest, the Dreamcast version doesn't have quick saving, but it does play out quite different as you saw, so it doesn't really count. More jumping over here. Yeah, probably harder than Dark Souls, even. Here we need to take one shot from this archer, essentially. There we go. But that is normal, that is in the script. What we want to avoid though is getting shot again, which might happen here. Okay, nice, didn't happen. I will activate whatever this contraption is. Yeah, this is essentially like the mirrors in Sands of Time. So they reflect light and they open doors with the light. And what we need to do now is actually activate the light to open up another room, which we need to find a switch to open up another pylon, to open up another room, which takes us to the end of the game. Here another sideways jump. More rope climbing section. Okay, well, I think I didn't have to turn. There you can climb it normally. Probably the longest rope sequence in the game. Takes forever to finish. Here we are. Now we climb over this really sharp texture. I don't know why it's so sharp. And we can activate the light. This switch right here. Okay, it's not the light, actually I lied. I forgot. This just brings down this thing, which lets you access the other area where the switch to activate the light actually is. So we jump over here and backwards. And we have these spikes which don't do anything to us if we stay there. There you go. Now we climb over this, which is what we activated with that switch. More climbing. You should be used to it at this point. And then save just in case. It's a pretty cool jump. You're meant to use the rope and then do like a really difficult sideways jump, where you can just jump there. Here you can kill this guy because he likes to shoot you through walls for some reason. Yes, that has happened to me before. He shoots you throughout all these walls right here. And this section right here could potentially softlock me and make me restart the whole level again. If I quick save in the wrong end. Wait, let me do it like this. Okay, there we go. No softlock. Basically, there is a blade there that doesn't allow you to jump. What the game wants you to do is pick up a box and use it to climb over that platform, but you can just do it like that and avoid the blade altogether. And yeah, this is the light switch. There you go. Now we're gonna tank more fall damage. Rather than just go where we came from, we can just do this. And we can remain on 2 health for a few minutes. We'll activate this. Now, I think we meet our good old friend, the demon, here. There he is. You're free to give him a name if you want, because we will be seeing him again. Need to activate this. Very long puzzle, as you can see. Brad. There you go. That's his name now. For eternity. Here we have like a diagonal jump, I think, if I'm not wrong. Yep. Jump diagonally like this. Grab the rope. We land there. There we go. Now, yes, spreadsheet, yeah. Should be spanning the entire franchise, to be honest. Because there is a lot of characters. Yeah, activate this, which I think makes some platform move. Yeah, basically every puzzle in this game is activate a switch to make something move or open, and then go there. To activate another switch, makes the same thing over and over again. And he will be healing us for the last time ever. Yeah, and don't forget Bob in level 8. Here, just run past this woman. And well, I think this is probably the worst section in this level. The 2 ropes into the other rope. Here the problem is, if you swing back on this very first rope, you die. Because there's spikes, and you need to time the very first jump very precisely. Like that, there you go. And this one you just jump normally. Here we just turn back like this, and we climb for about an hour or so. once again. I think this is the last big rope in the game, hopefully, if I'm not forgetting anything. There we go. Yeah, Bob's dad is just Bob's dad. Here, I think we don't activate anything here, we just drop down. Drop down here, which is next to Brad. We activate this once again to go to the other side. That's Brad there. We will see him again, don't worry. Now we need to go, I think it's to the left. Yep. Some more platforms. At least I made the timing correctly. It's a very precise jump, for no reason. You need to move forward slightly, and then go to the left and jump. Not that looked easy, but if you take too long, you get crushed by the platform there, like that. But if you're early, it lets you on top of it. Here we activate this once again, which brings up the final pylon. Now we won't kill Brad, we'll leave him alive. And we're gonna meet his cousin before the end as well. So that's nice. This one is pretty much the last cool jump in the game. Jump back into Brad's room. We drop down. And we say goodbye to Brad forever. There he is. Goodbye, my friend. He doesn't even chase me. He doesn't want to kill me. And he hasn't been given a name yet, so you're free to name him. I'll see him in a moment. Now, I think that's the last switch in the game. Okay, now I need to swing over the spikes. Just so yeah, there it is. And now I lied before, this is the last rope in the game. Okay, I failed the easiest jump. Okay, I lied again, this isn't the last rope in the game, there is one in the final boss. When you think you're in the last rope, there is always one more in this game. And yeah, now we're gonna meet Brad's cousin, who looks exactly the same as him. There he is. And that's it, that's the last non-boss enemy in the game. And this is supposed to be the last boss in the game. You're supposed to press this in a sequence, which I don't remember the sequence even. And if you don't, you die like that. You get deleted from existence like that. Okay, there we go. Now we go like this, and like this, and we're in the final boss of the game. The music in the server is pretty good actually, if you can hear it. And we will cheese him once again, but in a slightly, more cheesy way, which is just letting him hit us once. And then hitting him. Then we spam the key to put our sword away, and there's basically like a 2-frame window where you can put your sword away during the cutscene. And you save like 3 seconds. This is the last rope in the game. Because the game needs to have one rope in every single level. And once we kill Ragnar in phase 2, we will be finished, hopefully. That's the princess right there. Last jump in the game. And the timer should end on the final hit, which is 1, 2, 3, and 4. There we go. that is time. If you're wondering, the in-game time for this was 1 hour 47:36. I'm not seeing the actual timer, so I don't know what time it is. I don't know if it's underestimate. So yeah, GG's.
Underestimate indeed. 148.11.
Very nice. Yeah, good job with the estimate. I forgot when I submitted. I forgot to. This game is actually in-game time, but it didn't matter anyway. So yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
No.
Yeah,
Thanks
let's
a
see.
lot for showing this. Actually, for showing both versions of the game, I guess.
Yeah.
Um.
And yeah, well,
So,
thank everyone.
what
Yeah.
would you say? How's your
Yeah. So
right? Yeah.
thanks
So,
everyone.
what would you say? How was your first PoPRuns experience?
Yeah, I went in with the idea of having fun, not PV or anything, which I think is the good mindset. And yeah, I did have fun.
Right. Yeah.
And yeah, you showcase runs that are probably not as known as the others, which is probably a good thing, I guess. And yeah, I had fun, which is the important. And I want to thank everyone in the community. I felt, with good company in the chat. So yeah, thanks everyone for watching and, sticking by.
Cool. Then thanks again. And after a quick intermission, we'll be back with the Two Thrones Mobile, an absolute code classic run by Funky. So stay tuned for that and see you in a few minutes.